Hello everyone and welcome to SkillCapped. I'm Notorious Dub and today I'm going to be breaking down one of the biggest meta changes that we've been seeing recently, and that's how effective people are realizing Raze is with a shotgun in her hand. Now this has been in and out of the meta for a while now, but with the Stinger nerf and everyone realizing just how strong the Bucky is on eco rounds, by association the full buy shotgun, the Judge, is getting an insane amount of use now. And Raze has also seen an increase in play, and this is because this Raze Judge abuse meta is not only rolling over the competitive meta, it's also making its way into pro play, and it's looking quite strong in there. So in this guide, we're going to be talking about the guy that started it all off, making it all look so easy, and how you can incorporate this playstyle into your game to help get you more kills, pick you up a ton more wins, and more importantly, make your opponents rage. But as always, before we get too deep into the video, we have to get started with our question of the day. And today it's, what do you think about the frenzy right now? Personally, the pistol meta feels a little weird right now. The classic changes makes the classic not feel great to use anymore, but still holds a ton of viability with certain shot pacings and places that you're playing, but with the Ghost, it just feels like you're getting ran over unless you hit insane headshots in that one round. The only weapon that really still feels good to me is the Frenzy, and the weapon still feels so random that sometimes you just miss your entire clip when you think it should be hitting. So for me, I don't necessarily like the Frenzy right now, but it feels like the best of all of the bad options we have on pistol round right now. But I'm sure a ton of you disagree with me, which is exactly why I want to hear from you. So let me know how you feel about the Frenzy in the comments down below. But without further ado, what exactly is making Raze so popular with the Judge right now? Well, honestly, it comes down to clips like this. And plays like this seem crazy, and they were crazy back when Flights was making it happen using Vandals and fancy operator shots that honestly took a little bit of luck to be able to pull off, but Donmo is making it happen consistently against some of the most coordinated teams in the world. And the reason this strategy is so oppressive is that you never really know when the aggression is going to come at you, but when it does, you have that split second to react to it, or a Judge is already in your face ready to one-shot you. Best case scenario, he hits you twice. It just comes down to whether or not your team is able to handle this level of aggression and pressure. And so far, it's not been dealt with very well in pro play, so how could you possibly expect your teammates in rank to deal with it? Because really, how do you deal with it at all? Well, let's just break it down on attack and defense so we can go over the exact strengths and weaknesses of the strategy so you know what to expect and how to implement this strategy into your playstyle. But don't forget, if you're serious about improving, then go to SkillCapped.com to unlock our hyper improvement system that will teach you how to win more gunfights, master your agent, and so much more. It's also backed by our rank improvement guarantee, so you really have nothing to lose. So come join over 500,000 satisfied members of SkillCapped. Improve that KDA and get the rank you've always wanted at SkillCapped.com. Link is in the description below. Now let's start with the attacker side, because this is the side that people love to say shotguns aren't effective on. And for a while, I agreed with that statement, but the goal of the shotgun on the attacker side is two things. One, you want to get as deep into the site as possible, causing as much chaos as you can, and choke out the deep points of the site while your team 4-man rushes the site for control, while you just try to stay alive and do as much damage as possible. And the only two people who can really do this very well are Raze and Jet, with Raze just being able to do the same thing as Jet, but much further, much faster, and with her gun out while she's getting ready to land. So how could you possibly counter this strategy? Well, to be honest, you really just have to have your gun out at all times because you don't know when the aggression is going to hit, so your utility becomes a little less useful. Play deep in the back of sight and hope that you can hit that headshot while she's flying through the air faster than the speed of light. But even then, all the Raze's team has to do is flash one time behind her, and that headshot is nearly impossible to hit, which just means as people get better at double satcheling and are able to steer themselves a little bit better and better through the air, this Judge Raze meta is only going to get worse because she's going to be closer and closer to getting in that one-shot range immediately. Not to mention, put the Raze on a map like Split or Bind where the bomb sites have tiny funnels into and out of the bomb sites, and the satchels, Judge, and utility dumping is some of the most oppressive and overpowered ways to choke off an area and make it unplayable for the enemy team. But then we have the other job for the attacker with the shotgun, and that's to just lock down the flank or lurk into one of the enemy's rotation paths to cut it off. And teams realize very quickly that if a shotgun could be waiting around the corner if you decide to flank or go for an aggressive rotation, then those rotations don't happen. And if you're playing Haven and a Raze with a shotgun could have lurked into B site, you rotate through spawn to help out A site. And when these mind games start happening, the Raze has already done her job. So whether you're flying over the enemy's head, causing a ton of chaos and allowing your team to rotate in behind you, or just lurking, stopping the rotation, getting picked on the rotation, or causing the rotation to take a long time, you're really doing a service for your team, and it's going to make these rounds so much easier. But then we have defense, where the shotgun Raze naturally thrives. The shotgun Raze's job on defense is to lock down an area so hard that the enemies want to avoid it for the entire game. And this is one of the reasons that I use Haven as an example for the shotgun Raze meta not being a great map on. Because although you can lock down Garage like nobody's business, you have to get pretty crafty at sometimes to maintain pressure throughout the game, because there are enough options on the map for the enemies to avoid you all game. So here we see the people who are implementing this strategy mixing it up and using rifles every once in a while whenever they're not planning to do some high flying or some huge lockdown potential plays. But the maps that it is great on, it's super oppressive. So once again, maps like Split and Bind thrive on cutting off those choke points. Think about Split, there are really only 3 points that the enemies can attack through: mid, B main, or A main. And even cutting off just one of those areas makes the map insanely difficult to attack on. And we all know how difficult it is on attacker side on Split anyway. But whether it's attackers or defender side, don't let the enemies avoid you. Be unpredictable. If you're on Bind and they stop fighting you in hookah, hold A short for a round. Or even be more aggressive and pick one round to satchel into their buy phase barrier as soon as the round starts. And if they're all there, try to pick off a couple before they take you down. Be unpredictable, because you can clear out a team in a split second, so force them to change their playstyle to play around you no matter where they think you're going to be. But with being unpredictable in mind, let's go over a few of the most oppressive strategies to implement on Raze's 2 best maps with this strategy in mind: Bind and Split. Starting with Bind. In pro play, a ton of people are saying that Bind is the Raze versus Raze matchup, and hookah is going to be your bread and butter area to play around. Just take a look at this clip of Downmo playing around hookah with his judge in hand, daring the enemy to enter the area. This is exactly what makes the shotgun Raze so strong, because the other team throws an insane amount of utility down to pressure the Raze out of the area. But you know that all you have to do is keep your crosshair on the door and dodge everything that you can, because anyone that walks in will get destroyed. Because where the Phantom and the Vandal fall short, you have to be standing still to get those accurate shots off. But with the judge, you can dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge, and still be able to one-shot the person as soon as they walk in the door. And that's exactly what happened here. This pro team was so scared to walk in while she had her utility that they ended up waiting and still getting destroyed anyway. And the only thing that can really force a Raze out of this area is a flash that forces her back, and even then you can duck behind the box in hookah to buy you a little bit of time to peek back out and one-shot anyone peeking into your area. Aside from hookah though, which is where you're usually going to be playing, you can always play Showers, and Showers is another one of those areas where the enemy can't really do anything to contest you. In Showers, no one really flashes through the area, and unless the other team has a Sova that commits to clearing out Showers with his utility, this area is a free kill if the enemy decides to push through A. And if they decide to leave Showers uncontested, you have the perfect spot to retake from. You can also do a similar thing on short A, tuck into the cubby on the right if you find the opportunity to quickly get there at the beginning of the round, but here, playing around smokes are usually going to be your best friend if you can't tuck into that cubby. And not to mention, the teleporter is right beside you, and you can grenade through by aiming just above the teleport sign and walk throw. This way it goes all the way through into hookah, and following that grenade through if the enemy is pushing hookah. With this, you're protecting A short by having your judge there and daring anyone to go inside of hookah, because anyone that goes inside is dying to your grenade and they have to move. Anyone outside is in one-shot distance of your judge. But then we have attacker side buy, and it gets a little bit different, because instead of your lockdown defensive playstyle, you get way more aggressive and explode onto bomb sites as fast as possible. For A site, naturally you're going to be looking to take full control of hookah with your shotgun, and usually teams are just going to be giving this area up for free whenever you double satchel into their face a couple of times. All the while your team is walking in behind you, throwing flashes and smokes down on the bomb site so they can take control while you take deeper control of the bomb site. You can also satchel deeper into the site if they're giving up U-Haul for free to catch the person playing Showers or bench off guard, and this is going to make getting the plant down so much easier. On B site, you really only have 2 good options. One, you can satchel into the face of anyone you get information about and you know you can get to. That way you nearly guarantee that you pick up a kill and can cause enough chaos for your team to get on the site and follow you up. And besides that, you want to satchel into back site and clear from the far side of site while your team comes in from the front of site, creating a deadly pinch that enemies really just can't deal with. But then you have Split as the other map where the strategy is incredibly strong. And once again, let's start with defense. So on A site, you actually have a choice to make when defending this area. The judge is incredible, but with the distances you're sometimes forced to play on A site, the bucket can be far more viable because it allows you to reposition to slightly further angles and still have that full kill potential, where the judge forces you to full commit to the fight whenever the enemy team walks up and you either die or kill the entire team. But let's be honest, when satchel plays are on the table, the judge takes a huge priority over the bucky, especially if you're going to be locking down the heaven area and plan to satchel out onto site when the enemy starts the plant. But aside from A site, you have mid, and mid with a shotgun is obviously very difficult to control, but tucking into mailroom and waiting on enemy's team to push through will always be a terrifying strategy for the enemy team, and this is how we see people like Wardell picking up a quick 4K with the judge, because you can just mow down enemy teams. And then we have B site, where you can tuck into the boxes on the outside of the entrance to B main and force the enemy team to commit to the site. And this is one of those angles that Raze can play better than anyone, because you're forcing the enemy team to either peek heaven or clear this angle. And this angle is so difficult to actually deal with if the enemy team doesn't use a ton of utility just to clear you out. But even then, you can just quickly turn around, satchel the wall behind you, and quickly escape. But then you have attacking on split, and you actually have a ton more options here than on bind, where you can essentially just send it to any area of the map that you actually want to. From A main, you can satchel all the way up A ramps into heaven to clear out the enemy there. That way your team can take site for free, essentially just creating a 4 against 1 for your team. You also have the options to satchel into the A heaven window from A main, or all the way back to elbow on either side, and these are going to be the two main strategies for taking site, because it causes so much chaos, and taking care of those important areas allows your team to focus on the push out of heaven or focus on the push out of elbow, whichever one you don't decide to go to, so much better. But all in all, this shotgun Raze meta is one of the strongest defending strategies and an incredibly oppressive way to bum rush a bomb site and cause a ton of chaos that these pro teams have trouble dealing with, and your ranked teams that you get matched up with honestly don't really have a clue how to deal with. But remember, if you want to improve, win more gunfights, and get the rank you've always wanted, then check out SkillCapped.com. Link is in the description below. But what do you guys think about the shotgun Raze meta? And what do you think about shotguns in the game in general right now? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn those notification bells on, because we here at SkillCapped have a ton more comprehensive premium guides coming your way that you're going to want to stay up to date with so you can stay ahead of the pack. As always, I want to thank you for spending this little bit of your day with us. And I'm Notorious Dub, signing off.